What's happening, everybody? It's your boy, Hannibal Callens.
And it is I, Giancarlo Alberti.
Man, we are so glad to be back with you guys with some terrible news. Horrific. I don't know if y'all remember, but last we talked, we figured it out. We actually managed to. We did it. After weeks and weeks, we found a name. It came to us through the will of God. The perfect name came to us, it was the Gits and Shiggles, the Gits and Shiggles podcast.
You try to do this with such a straight.
Your laughing so hard is making me.
I'm in tears, bro. With that being said, before we even continue, make sure you like, make sure you follow, and if you don't like us, we don't give a shit. We're laughing.
Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you can be there when we do figure a name out. Y'all, I'm telling you, the level of embarrassment I'm dealing with right now. Oh my God, because we spent the whole last episode. The name came to me like a dream. It felt like I was touched by an angel. Like in the middle of us talking, it just hit me like a strike of lightning.
Dude.
The Gits and Shiggles podcast, because no one would think about it. We Google that shit. There's a podcast that not only already has that name.
It has 81 episodes.
81 episodes deep.
First things first, we're not any haters here, but shout out to the Gits and
Shout
Shiggles.
out to the Gits and Shiggles podcast. You beat us. I mean, and you know what the worst part is too? Their branding, superb. I mean, like they already have they have a catchphrase.
They had the whole 9 yards.
Everything. They got shirts. They got merch. They got coffee mugs. They have a girl. I was like, what? How are we gonna beat that?
They have the female tone in their podcast.
They have a female tone in their podcast. They're pretty much cancel proof.
They are cancel proof.
Like, dude.
And the slogan is pretty.
The slogan's spectacular. I don't even want to. Just go check them out because I can't deal with the level of
First
defeat.
things first, for those new listeners, shout out to the old listeners, shout out to the new listeners. If you're new listening to this, I would highly recommend you guys watch, what episode is this for?
This is 6? This is 6.
Six. Watch episode 5 so you guys can understand why I'm laughing, I'm cackling, and why Hannibal, my good co-host and partner / best friend Hannibal, is trying to keep a straight face, knowing very well that he has a very impending sadness inside of him.
Man, I messed up. And you just, sometimes you just got to own up. You just got to know. They always say don't count all your chickens before they hatch. Man, it feels like I dropped a carton of eggs on my way home.
Damn.
It's horrific.
Scramble.
It's horrific. Yeah, whole name. They got Brandon. I was literally telling him, I was like, dude, my brother's a graphic designer. We're going to get him to do some mock-ups.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen it, go watch that episode so you guys can watch this reaction video. Because this is basically what that is.
It's shame. That's what it is. It's just utter shame, man. I mean, there's only one thing worse than getting beat. It's getting beat by somebody who, even you got to respect. You damn, they did that.
I listened to a couple episodes. They were pretty good.
You traitorous devil. You traitorous dog.
I watched a couple episodes, man, and I'm not going to lie to you, bro. They were pretty entertaining.
You traitorous. And here I was thinking... Anyway, y'all, we just...
Man, with that being said, Hannibal C., how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Better. No, I'm not. I'm not feeling good. I'm dealing with defeat. Y'all. But aside from that, man, I'm doing good.
At the end of it all, bro, that wasn't the name, bro.
It wasn't the name.
It wasn't the name.
One day, we will get a name. It just ain't today.
Hopefully by the time episode 10 hits, we got to figure it out.
I really hope so.
We're at 6.
Oh, boy, we got 4 episodes.
We got 4 episodes to go.
We got 4 episodes. Like Dragon Ball Z. Will they find out a name? Will they be able to get their branding together? And the Zerg, as they get ready for their attack on the Earth, will Hannibal and Giancarlo be ready? Like,
find out next on the episode on Insert Podcast Name.
Here. Dun, 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 dun.
Insert glitch side effects.
And then the door shut from the highlights. Clink. Yeah, Anyway, man, I'm doing good. I'm staying busy. You know me. I'm staying up on some shows.
Yeah.
It's actually looking like I'm gonna be looks like I'm getting booked for some stuff up in Jacksonville. So
Word.
yeah, gonna go up there for for a few dates, and honestly, I need to just grab all of them. But I'm doing well, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about yourself?
I'm pretty good.
Sweet.
Pretty good. Got a haircut.
Damn.
I went to the barbershop called the Master Barber Experience in Laureate Park, Boxy Park.
Oh, Boxy Park?
Boxy Park.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say the Master Barber Experience totally sounds like a school for wizards, but they do barbershop.
Yeah, Master of Barbers. It's a school for barbers.
Widows Peakius, Trimicus.
But dude, shout out to the barber that, fixed me up and everything. It was awesome. I had a wonderful experience. Why are you laughing?
Hispanic eyebrow linicus. It just
Trimicus Faticus.
Blowoticus Fatalippites.
Oh, low fade, thank you.
It just
But shout out to the Master Barbershop Experience. Thank you to the barbershop who, took care of me. It was awesome. It was a great experience. They did the whole hot towel.
Ooh.
Yeah, they washed my hair.
Ooh.
Bro, it was the whole, got a massage in the neck.
Oh my God.
Fixed me up really good.
They did your teeth? No. Just like you did this, like they were like, oh, you got a couple cavities.
Beard-wise.
Yeah, we got your cavities. We'll get those too. Why not? Wait, why are y'all giving me Novocaine? How bad are these guys?
We've been boiler roomed.
Oh, I feel bad. That went over my head. I feel like that was a great joke, a great reference.
Yeah.
Boiler room, but it went.
But yeah, shout out to the Master Barbershop Experience. If you guys are in the Orlando area, make sure you go check them out, man. They're pretty. If you're trying to get groomed and taken care of, go to this barbershop. Hands down.
Man, you know that they are so good because he got them to say, like, they got him to say all that, and they are not even a sponsor.
They're not even paying us.
That's a free commercial.
They are not even paying us, bro.
Dude, wow. All right, first one's free. Next time, how about throwing a little something
For real,
way?
at least a haircut, yo.
Right alone.
Back to our topic. So we don't have a podcast name yet.
Right. If you didn't figure that out by looking at the thumbnail of this one.
But you know what, guys? Tell us what you think. Tell us what you think. What type of podcast name would be adequate for such gentlemen as ourselves?
Right.
Let us know in the comments or in their DMs or in our social medias. Let us know, man.
Just hit us up. I mean, because honestly, we're taking requests. At this point, man, we're taking
We're
requests.
gonna start doing a survey in regards to the podcast name. So
Right.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned in your emails for that.
Oh, yo. Dude, you know what? We need to put, picking a podcast name, we need to put in a petition to get that put on the ballot. Like, you're voting for your city controller, you're voting for your mayor, your sheriff, and then what podcast name should Hannibal and Giancarlo use? What? Well, they should use Gitson. Oh, it's scratched out. Dang. Dude, oh my God, man.
But good things are coming up in the horizon, man. Thank you so much again for all the feedback you guys been giving us so far.
Yeah.
You know, a couple episodes deep, and you guys have been so great to us.
Yeah, lots of love coming from y'all, man. Lots of love, and I'm actually real happy to say that we actually got a topic today.
And the topic today is, you know what? Now that, because you told me the topic, you know what I think about the topic? It's cool because we've been talking about these past couple episodes they've been pretty deep, and I didn't even realize, like, going into these podcasts, they've been kind of deep conversations. Like, we'll joke around and stuff, and we'll you know, get in tears laughing because of our stupid jokes, but like most of the topics have been pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's nice to be able to balance talking about stuff deep, but also being able to have fun. And to me, man, that's the goal.
Yeah, man. And I kind of think I think that should be. I've been thinking that maybe should be the direction we should go in.
See, that's the exact direction. That's the exact direction that I want. And as we grow, man, we get better at it, and we're able to discuss more, get more comfortable, get deeper, man.
Build some rapport.
Yeah.
Rapport.
Oh yeah, rapport.
Rapport.
Yeah, you gotta say like a question. Rapport. Be a little rapport.
Rapport.
Yeah, rapport.
But yeah, man. I mean, go take it away, baby.
Yeah, you got it, man. Baby,
Take it away, baby.
Okay, all right. Well, I have a girlfriend, sir. Keep a little bit of distance on that couch there now. Man, so I don't know if y'all have noticed, and there's just been a trend. I'm seeing lots of stuff online where it is guys getting proposed to by their girlfriends. And it's a weird shift and I'm not gonna lie, I bet this isn't even gonna be a big thing like in a couple of weeks. I bet it's gonna just
Probably
be
not.
pop pow. But yeah, man, I was thinking, man, I gotta get your feelings, because I know you're a very you're the type of dude that, like, I wouldn't even say, not even would I say old school, because old school's not the right word, but you're also the type to be the dude to handle that, and you're a leader. So I was like, man, I gotta know what old Alberti think.
Thank you so much for those words,
dude. You're welcome. I'm
about to cry.
Which totally goes against what I just said.
I just feel so emotional because he called me a leader. No, dude. I think. Let me formulate my thought.
Yeah.
I think that is really cool. That is really cool that it's happening. Lets me know in the time of the times that we're in, you know, and it's good to be alive in this time. You know, having responsibilities not be so these types of things men do, or these types of things women do.
Right.
You know? But I mean, I think of a couple things. When women do this, is it because the men took too long and they just said, fuck it, let me take the initiative? Or they genuinely, you know, they thought it was right.
Right.
You know, what do you think?
To me, I find it, it's really interesting, because there's lots of potential for it to be like a really good shift, or, you know,
right?
Because like I've said before, I'm not the regular type of, like, oh, you know, I got to make more money than my woman. I mean, you know, I'm not the type of dude. And I just think, like, I'm curious about that too. Did the guy really want to get married that much, or like what drives it this way? But then to me, I think a lot of the criticisms, or a lot of the stuff that I think about, just kind of seems like, well, why aren't we asking that the other way? Like, how are we not sure that a guy asking a woman to get married, that she was really about that life?
Right.
Like, and now I'm like, well, it does kind of seem like something you spring on the person. However, you know, you spend years developing the relationship, building and all that. So it all makes more sense. You know, and it all makes more sense when you get to the actual proposal. But I find it really interesting. And one of the things too, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Just one of the things I think is really interesting is how gender roles have changed and how they're kind of gonna have to, because now you're seeing there seems to be, within statistics, women are starting to outperform men. They're starting to make more money than men in certain fields and in certain industries. But there's lots of differences, right, in the way of how men do stuff and how women do stuff.
Right.
Because like one thing you'll find is a lot of guys, or I think, again, I'm no expert. I'm just some dude talking about this stuff who's probably going to try to turn this all into jokes.
Just a chump trying to talk about
Dude,
this.
Right. I'm just a chump. But one thing I think you can see there's trends, right, where men will date women, like the term is date down. Like a rich man will end up.
Okay, yeah, I know that reference.
Yeah. And so it's like men will date down. So you'll see a rich dude who'll meet some girl working at a Wendy's, right? And if she's bad, he'll scoop her up and then whatever.
Okay, let me play. I didn't mean to stop you there, but let me play devil's advocate, because with that example you just said, I could understand a rich person doing that because they've been surrounded with women in their lives that have only been there for their financial intelligence or financial stability.
Right, about their money, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I could understand if that person would be like, well, I want to date down because I know that this certain type of person doesn't see that.
Right.
You know, they understand, you know, they're, for lack of a better term, like more humble.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know, sometimes.
Yeah, and I also like I'm not dogging the whole dating down thing at all, and I'm not. Right. And to me, talking about relationships is a really interesting thing because so much of how we view relationships is based and related to toxic ones. Right. So it's like when we look at stuff like, I mean, I think even with this proposal thing, I think honestly, most of the things that people might, because I've heard lots of people beef with it. Right. To me, it's a fun thing to hear people beef about. But to me, it just seems like a lot of the beef just kind of seems like it's more wrapped up in if this is a toxic situation, you know, a toxic relationship, rather than if it's just a relationship. So I think it's the same thing too. So I'm not trying to talk down on dating down or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, and from what I've heard, there are like statistical differences in how men date down and how women do. They don't date down as much as we do. And so, and when you think about it, it's because, like, you know, you work hard for your success and whatever, blah, blah, blah. You want somebody that's on your level. You know, you want somebody who's on your level or above. But then what happens is, like, as who makes money starts to shift, so now you've got a lot more women making a lot more money. And men that are making less money than they are, just depending on whatever, it just gets weird when only some of the aspects shift. So now you've got, like, women are making more money than men, but they don't seek partners the way that men do when they got money. Right. So now the rich women are going for the rich dudes, and the poor dudes are just poor. Whereas when the poor dudes were rich dudes, they would go for poor chicks or whatever. I just think that's interesting. As far as like the gender roles thing about proposals, I feel like there's, I don't know, because when it comes to marriage, I don't like to push anything on anybody. You know, I know that for myself, I do want to be the person to propose. You know, I want to be the person to do that.
Same. For the record, same. I would like to.
Right.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be mad.
Right. You know what the thing is? And I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna king at that today. But what I'm realizing is, I would like to propose to my partner, and I would like for it to not have to be that way. Because, like, if it's like, oh, you have to propose because you're the guy, well, now you have to propose because you're the guy. But if we're in a world where everyone's free to do what it is that they want to do, and then you propose to your partner, it's because you want to, not because the pressure's on you to do it. Because I think that is kind of goofy, because I've heard with past relationships and with other people, sometimes it'll be like, if we're together for a certain amount of time, but you don't propose to that person will leave you. And to me, that's kind of weird, because it's like, well, wait, if we're together for X amount of time, that means it's because we've been able to make it work. Right. So what's going on with this? And it's like, if you wanted to marry me that bad, then you could also make the move.
Right.
Yeah, I think this is really one of them things that's very gender roly, that isn't actually gender roly.
Right.
You know, and even then, it's like, when it comes to proposals and all that, it is also like a thing that's been riddled with people trying to make money. You know, engagement rings weren't a thing forever ago.
Promise rings weren't a thing.
Right, but the jewelry companies realized, oh, if we can convince people you have to buy an expensive engagement ring before you even get married, we can now get people hit trends. So I think there's just like I think it's nice that people are feeling that confident. I know there was a picture, one of the viral pictures, or it was a video. It's a girl who's pregnant getting down on one knee to propose to her man.
Okay, that's kind of...
Yeah, it's a little sus. I was like,
a little weird.
What? I'm like, oh, okay. How did that happen? Like,
I mean, being the man in that position, I would have been like, yo, baby, like, please get up. Like, get up. Like, if you're going to propose to me, well, you could do it standing up. I don't need the knee.
Yeah, we don't need to get
You'll still get the same effect.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm still going to say no and run to the car. I'm still going to go. Yeah, I'm still going to go no, scream yeet as I dab, and then run to the Uber. But all that aside, yeah, I don't know. To me, I thought that was really funny.
That was hilarious.
That's hilarious to see that, man. But yeah, I don't know. I just
and also speaking about this, when, like, in what time period did like society say, oh, when it comes to proposals, the man has to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, when did that happen in history?
Right. You know? I don't.
I don't either.
But one thing I will say this is, I'm pretty sure that when that was, men made significantly more than women did. And so that's part of where the tradition comes from, because part of what the man brought to that relationship was his wealth, was the providing position and his wealth. So now that we're in a world where the wealth is starting to shift and change, you know, and I think under healthy conditions, you start to get to a place where it's kind of based off of your merit, not like, oh, men, women, whatever. But it's like, as we start to get to a world where that changes, well, now what? Because now men don't have to be the person who provides. Anyone is able to make more money. And the cool thing is, if you play your cards right, you can make money like nuts. But yeah, so that's just like, that's one thing too. It's like, well, and like I said, it's weird how, as some aspects of the world and culture shift, others don't. It's like, well, wait, women are now starting to make a lot more money, but it's weird that our culture is not quite yet shifting to where we would look at proposals different. Right. Because a proposal is all, outside of the, the deep, legitimate, emotional, things that stimulate it and that push it. It's like, it's a guy flexing his financial ability to provide for you, because he made more money.
He was more stable. He could have, because of his money, he was able to access to different things in life.
Right, and so he's able to be in the position to be like, here's a metal circle with a shiny rock stuck to it. That is a flex.
As a symbolism that we are together.
Right. So now as the world changes and you've got a lot more women making a lot more money, even if they don't make more money, than a man does. And again, that's only in like certain sectors and under certain circumstances or whatever. But it's like, well, so now what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just real interesting.
I mean, I don't know, Hannibal. I mean, part of me thinks that you're thinking that way because I think, and we don't have to get too deep into this thought, but I think it's because men, just as you and me, we have this like money clock in our brains that it's just like, if we're not making money, we're not really successful. And it's, I'm curious to see if it could also be that we live in a society where women are making more money, but also that maybe we're living in a society where, when the roles of a woman and a man are kind of getting, I wouldn't say blurred, but different. Mm-hmm. Maybe we're in a society now that it's more acceptable for a woman to propose to a man.
Right.
because people are not liking this whole ideology that the man has to do those types of things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see if that also has an element into this trend.
Yeah, I wonder too. Especially because to me, I've always kind of felt like I mentioned earlier, certain things have gotten like put under brackets of masculine and feminine that aren't actually, and there are things that actually are. Like your dad being in your life serves particular purposes and benefits you in a particular way, in a way that can't be supplemented by just having your mom in your life, and vice versa.
Right.
And that's like, even with like Father's Day right around the corner, depending on when this episode drops. But like with Father's Day, lots of people are like, oh, well, my mother's my father. Nah, man. Your mother serves her role as her mother, and even if she has to pick up the slack for another person, that's your mom. And
Right.
she's doing what she does as a mom. But especially today, it's really hard. It can be difficult for people to really admit and understand that, like, you're not able to supplement that position of the dad or the mom. And so certain aspects of those gender roles, I think, aren't actually gender roles,
Right.
or like they are not as intrinsic as what the real things are that are masculine and the real things are that are feminine. Washing and drying your clothes is not an actual feminine or masculine thing.
Right.
It's something everyone should be able to do.
Everything. Yeah.
I think the best example too is cooking, because cooking is something that way back in the 50s was
Right.
like, oh, women cook.
The women have to cook.
Right,
Make me a sandwich.
Right, but it's like, dude, are you serious? The curation of food. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like, that's
I'm
something
pretty sure
everyone should be able to do.
Cavemans were out there hunting for bison and eating it raw because they were starving, not having to wait for their partner, woman caveman that was the gatherer, as the history's books
Right.
tells us,
Right.
to be fed. I don't think, no.
Right, and then even then, I don't know. To me, there's a certain level that becomes inefficient.
Right.
If women cook, men don't cook. Well, you're a grown ass man. You're a grown ass man. You should know how to make food for yourself and for others. Like that. That's dummy. And then so I think I just think that that's where the conversation can get, and the topic is really interesting, because it's like, well, yeah. It's like, what? Because and I'll say this, then hop off. Like colors, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think colors are inherently male or female. But because of marketing and branding, it's been done that way.
Colors? What do you mean by colors?
So, like, how pink, we associate pink with girls.
The association of colors being labeled
Right.
to genders.
It's like,
okay, got it.
It's like, that's like
blue. It does not mean that it's for men.
Yeah, blue doesn't inherently mean that, but we made it mean that.
Gotcha.
And so now, at what point do we start to go, well, blue is just blue?
Right.
There's really no
Right.
actual, like, blue is just blue, and then you use it wherever. So I think the same thing starts to happen with a lot of our gender role things. And there's a shift in, there's also just differences in how we look at stay-at-home moms and then stay-at-home dads, because stay-at-home dads get it rough, because even though the world is changing, we're still not shifting, and like our culture isn't really accepting stay-at-home dads the way that they accept stay-at-home moms. And there's a book that I've was reading, and by reading I mean listening to on Audible.
Right.
But called
That's a new way of reading nowadays.
Oh, dude, come on. That what am I turning pages for?
I mean, but also into that thought of how there's not a lot of stay-at-home dads. I also think it's because it's partially men's fault that make fun of that stigma.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Men and women.
Right.
Because like we said, women don't really date down. So they don't date down the way that men have culturally.
And that can be
so then what happens
construed as dating down.
Yeah. Because I mean, think about it. If you're now again, the game is different, and I'm no expert. I'm just talking off of what I've gathered in my own sort of ideas, and just spitting stuff on the wall here. But it's like, if women don't date down the way that men do, you'll take a rich woman who makes 6-7 figures, and you're gonna ask her, or do you want to get with a man who will stay home with the kids? And that might not be what she's into.
Right.
So then now it's like, but then you got different for different people or whatever. I just find it really interesting, because we're starting to get in a world where our gender roles are shifting. Oh, I'm too far.
Yeah.
Got it. My bad. I was trying not to be too close.
No, you're good.
I guess this makes it to where you can be closer.
Right.
See, I should have thought about that. My bad. Yep. You can cut all that out.
No. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. I was just making sure.
Yeah. So we're starting to get into a world where, as the world is changing, we have to start really looking at what have we like what is male, what is female, and not. Oh no, let me say it different. What's masculine,
Right.
and what's feminine, and then what are things we said are masculine and we said are feminine,
Right.
because now in a world where more people are achieving more diverse forms of freedom, and especially in a world where you can get on YouTube and make more money than you could have ever made with a college degree,
Right.
we have to start really thinking, well, where's the balance of what we can do, what we should do, and then where we're able to maximize living our best life in
Right.
that.
No, yeah. I mean, into that, my opinion, I think being a stay-at-home dad, depending on your situation, that could be a flex. Because you could be a stay-at-home dad, but you're a freaking Bitcoin millionaire.
Oh my God.
What you gonna
do? Yes, because now you've got people who are able to kill it working from home.
Right.
So yeah. And especially think about this too, when you look at how important dads are to people's development,
Yeah.
and how that position isn't respected to the level that it should be. And now you've got people growing up damaged over the fact that their dad was never home, and it's not their dad. And even for those who dad didn't leave, your dad just always had to be gone to make money.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, I get to spend all this time with my kids because I work from home.
Yeah.
Call me what you want, but I'm a dab on you real quick. As my kids get to grow up and not be psychopaths because
Right.
they had their dad,
Let me watch my kids play in the playground while I'm washing my Ferrari that I've won in Bitcoin.
Right. Let me watch my Doge.
Let me
Go
watch
to the
my
moon.
Doge. Let me make another 30K.
Right.
So
Right. Sweet. So yeah.
it's an interesting, yeah. That's why I think, I mean, to bring it back in full circle. That's why I think, it has to basically do with the times that we're in. That this is why this is happening. Financially and culturally, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just pretty interesting. We're living in this world.
Dude, for real. Man, I'm telling you. My girl don't propose to me in 5, and we've been together 5 years. I'm leaving.
Damn. And with that being said, Hannibal Callan's on episode 7 will be single, ladies and gentlemen.
Will Hannibal end up single because his girl heard episode 6 and was like, oh, hell no. Find out next time on
Insert podcast
name here.
AKA not Gits and Shiggles. But with that being said, that was such a very good topic.
Yeah.
That was such a very good topic, man.
Yeah, man.
But you ready to get to GTFO?
Oh yeah. I'm ready.
Well, Hannibal C, what are your plugins, man?
Man, you already know what it is, man. Instagram, Hannibal_His Majesty. I have so many show dates that are coming up, and I want to share these nights with you, so y'all got to come out. Hit up my Instagram. That's the best way. Hit up my Instagram. That's the best way to see the shows I have coming up and all the other ventures, because I'm doing a bunch else too. So be sure to tune in, go to YouTube, see my other stuff, see the stuff that me and the homeboy have been working on.
Yeah, man.
I got a whole bunch of new content coming, and I really want to share it with y'all. So y'all know what it is. Giancarlo Alberti. What you got?
Sugar Jing. My plugins is Giancarlo_Alberti at Instagram. You can catch me on Facebook, but I don't use it. Twitter's the same. But guys, stay tuned. We are actually hitting our first phase, our 10 episode mark pretty soon.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be some significant changes. One that I think we can release as to like the website and all that. We will be shifting all the episodes into our actual YouTube channel itself. Hopefully we'll have a name
Hopefully, we will have a name. Yes. Hopefully, we will have a name at some point.
But there's going to be lots to come. Like I said in the previous episode, there's going to be previous episodes. A lot of video game content. A lot of just, being us.
The boys being the boys.
Just the boys being the boys, If you like this, cool. If not, keep it moving.
Yeah, right? There's plenty of stuff on YouTube, man. Go ahead and go to some other channel and get picked up from the pedo hunters.
Yeah, the pedo hunters. Yeah. But if you like our stuff, please.
Yeah, then you hang around.
Yeah,
if you
please
like
hang
stuff.
around.
Yeah.
Hang around with us. But that being said, my name is Giancarlo Alberti.
And it's your boy, Hannibal Callens, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.